Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Chuck Graham Show. Yes, I need to cut my hair, but you can support the show by going to charlesgraham.com. That's charlesgraham.com. And I don't edit these videos, so it's from the time I hit the record button until I end, it's just me. All right, well, here's my take on the border crisis that I think that's going on as we speak. Joe Biden, his policy is pretty simple. He's not going to return anybody to their country. Well, he wants to give amnesty for 11 million illegals that are already here. He wants to do away with the border wall. And he has defied the United States Supreme Court ruling that says you return to keep their ass in Mexico policy that Trump had in place. And the Supreme Court ordered him to return to that policy. And they are defying the Supreme Court. If Donald Trump would have done that, the media would have been just absolutely beside themselves. Have you noticed that that the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal on the vaccination and then the Sixth Circuit makes a ruling, and somehow or another Biden finally adheres to it and OSHA retracts those policies? Hell, a district court could have done it during Trump. Could have did that, and then what? If he hadn't complied or until the appeal process was over with, they would have been up in arms. Oh, he's defying that. They would have tried to impeach him over it. Hell, they tried to impeach him over shit that he didn't do. Remember the dossier? All that shit was fake. All that was Hillary Clinton. Attorneys in her campaign are going to jail because of this stuff. Peter Strzok, McCabe, all of them need to go to jail. Every one of them. It was a lie. It was a complete lie. And that's just crazy. And then the border crisis, they're stonewalling, they're slow walking, going back to Trump's policy. Why? Because they think that's their voter base. People, why did Obama get rid of or tried to get rid of wet foot, dry foot policy for Cubans? If they can make it here, they have amnesty. It's because those people have amnesty. I mean, not amnesty, asylum. Seeking asylum. The people from Cuba can get here, and it's federal law that you have to give them asylum. Why? Because why don't they want those people? Because they don't have this fantasy of socialism. They don't have this utopia of socialism. They're living it, and it's awful. So you asked yourself the question, why don't the Biden administration want to get all the Cubans they can get? Because they wouldn't vote for them. They don't want socialism. Shit, that's what they've been living under. Bread lines, gas lines, food lines, nothing. And look, there are no embargoes in Cuba for food. But you can't get fresh meat, fresh vegetables, and all that. And you get the same brand name of everything almost. It's awful. Go look it up. Don't take my word for it. There's documentaries of it. And the documentary makers almost went to prison making them. But yeah, they still drive really old cars. There is an embargo on that, I believe, but not on food. But the Cuban government is awful. I mean, they kill their own people when they try to promote freedom or riot or protest. Like I said, don't take my word for it. But why would they not want that, but they want the southern border open? Because they think that's their voter base. They think they can get illegals. I mean, hell, California is doing it now. Illegals, people that are not citizens, are voting in California. That's unconstitutional. It's awful. I mean, we have a crisis in this country. We're being invaded. This is not humanitarian here. We need to take care of our own citizens. So, and they are giving them, I'm going to say this, and you don't have to take my word for it. Look it up. Don't take anything I say for the gospel. Go look it up. They're giving them medication at the border, the medication that we shall not speak its name, ivermectin. Are they a wormy people? I don't know. But I don't think they're giving out too many vaccines. That's a lot of money. But they're also trying to give, reparations for people that were separated. Are you fucking shitting me? Stay your ass in your own country if you don't want to get separated. Jesus, people. And look, if you want to come to this country, we welcome you, but you're going to have to do it the legal way. You can't just cross the border. It makes it... What about all the people that struggled to get here legally, right? And did it the right way? Here's what I think they should do. They should cut the red tape on how to get here legally. It shouldn't take years if you're wanting to be a citizen. Or tens of years. It might take you a couple of years. And maybe it should, but it shouldn't be 10 years down the road. They should cut the red tape and have a path to citizenship for people that want to come here for a better life. But don't walk across our border and then try to claim amnesty when you just went through 1, 2, maybe 3 other countries. You know, you can't do that. You're looking for a better life. You're not asking for amnesty from an oppressive country because you're crossing through Mexico. Why didn't you get amnesty there? Well, you're looking for a better life. I don't blame you for it, but you got to do it the legal way. Otherwise, you get sent back. But I do blame our government for letting this happen because you have criminals, Taliban. I mean, the shit that Biden administration is doing right now is awful. Unvetted people from Afghanistan, leaving American citizens over there, allowing, terrorists to cross our border? And I can assure you, there are terrorists that are crossing our border, and they're not getting caught. And just wait. And for Kamala Harris to have the audacity to blame Trump. To blame Trump. They weren't crossing like that with Trump. Gave him another 7 months, there would have been a wall up that they couldn't have crossed. It makes no sense. A country without borders is not a country. We are a bunch of idiots over here. When it comes to common sense and biology, for God's sakes. And I don't know, truth, justice. I mean, justice was served the other day when Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted. That's absolutely, he had every right to defend himself. Didn't make a shit while he was there. I'm just going to throw that in. But the point being is this, we've got to do something with this southern border. If we don't, we're not going to have a country. And the Biden administration, I'm sick of people saying they need to be held accountable. Who's going to do it? Really? Who? Lindsey Graham? That rhino? The one that was on January 6th reported by Fox News and Tucker Carlson as calling for the Capitol Police to shoot the so-called insurrectionist? There was nothing burnt on January 6th. Nothing torn down. Nothing defaced. There was prayer in the chambers. I saw the video. There was a call for peaceful protest. Saw that. They're not worried about that. They're using that. The only body that died on January 6th was Ashley Babbitt at the hands of Lieutenant Michael Byrd when he discharged his firearm and shot her ass in the neck and killed her. He murdered her. And he should be held accountable. And I've said that 1,000 times. If nothing else, reckless endangerment to the other cops that was standing behind her that could have been hit. He's a scared little man that has no business wearing a badge. And if he would have been white and she would have been black, they'd have burnt the damn Capitol down. The bottom line is this. People need to be held accountable, but are they? Apparently not. But apparently, thank God that the jury sent a message You can't just try to hit somebody upside the head with a skateboard and not pay the consequences. Anyway, enough about that. The point being is this. Folks, we have an insurrection, and it's at our southern border. We have an invasion, not an insurrection. We have an invasion. And January 6th was not an insurrection. I don't agree with the storming of the Capitol building no more than anybody does. The very one, I'll give you this, back in the 70s, there was a girl, and I can't remember her name. She went to work for Black Lives Matter fundraising. Leave it in the comments who she was. I can't remember her name right off. But anyway, she blew up the Capitol building while they were in session. She was doing life in prison as a terrorist. Obama commuted her sentence in 2013. That was an insurrection, not January 6th. So all I'm saying is let's just call a spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. It was a protest, and some of them were on the borderline of rioting, but they were also being let in. I mean, there's so many moving parts to this. It's just unreal. But an insurrection, it was not. Should it have happened? No. They should have stayed outside. Even if they were being let in, they should have had enough sense to stay outside. Because I think it was a big setup. And it's not the first time we've been lied to. I mean, look at the media. Look at CNN. Look at MSNBC on the Kyle Rittenhouse case. I mean, Jesus Christ. They had him painted as a white supremacist, racist, going out there to shoot just black people. Hell, everybody shot was white. I mean, what are we supposed to be? They were supposed to be having a protest for what? I mean, that night, for a guy that got his ass shot off because he had a knife and was resisting the police. All that was ruled justified. But nobody cares about the rule of law. And here's the thing. If you hate the police that much, why do you call them? If you think they're out there just gunning down black people, why do you call them? Why does your inner cities call them? Because they know that's not true. They know it's not true. You know? It's just simply not true. But they're trying to keep everybody in fear. Fear, 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 fear. What you should be in fear of is that southern border, folks. They're coming in by the hundreds of thousands. And I hope it backfires on the Biden administration. I hope instead of these people aren't stupid enough to come over here and think to vote Democrat, I hope they all vote for Republicans. That would serve their ass right. To be leaving a country that they don't like, that is borderline socialism, and come to a country that's capitalism, and they go, and I hope they embrace it. All of you coming across the border, embrace capitalism and vote Republican. And that'd show them. If they did that, they'd close that damn thing down, and they'd have the military lining up the thing. If the Democrats knew, if Biden knew that all those people coming over was going to vote Republican, they'd shut the border down. They'd shut it down. Oh, hell no. Why do you think they tried to get rid of wet foot, dry foot policy for the Cuban people? If you'll come across 90 miles from Cuba in a bathtub or a raft trying to get here, they don't want those people because they know what socialism is. They don't have this fantasy utopia of it. They know what it is, and they don't want it. And Biden don't want them. Well, that's going to end it for me today, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. If you like the video, subscribe. I don't know. We don't make any money off this, but subscribe, like, notification bell, join the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.